Welcome in here, race fans. Tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network, it is the Northeast Racers back in action after the holiday break here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway for the RacingSchool.net 75. I'll be your host here tonight in the virtual Turn 3 studios. My name is Roger Muth, and alongside me, it is my great friend from the upstate New York area, closer to where these racers come from. It is Al Smith. Al, great to have you back here on a Sunday night after the holiday break. It's been 1 month since we've seen these drivers, and it looks like 29 of them have tuned in here at the new Smyrna Speedway.
Yeah, 29 drivers getting ready to do battle. What is going to be a very exciting and entertaining night of racing. Multiple grooves in practice already showing up, and a little bit of a different format coming at us tonight.
Tonight we will qualify here, which these drivers currently are in their qualifying sessions here in their own lobbies. We are going to be taking the top 5 here in qualifying, the top 5 fastest drivers tonight. We will lock them directly into the main event here for the RacingSchool.net 75 lap main event. Then we're going to go heat racing, 8 laps the distance in our heat races before we get to our C and B main scheduled events before we kick it off for the A main here tonight. We are taking 5 cars out of each heat race and only 1 from the C and the B. Al, we talked about that off air. We believe it might be 2 B mains here, but we're going to have to see how it plays out with the iRacing configuration and how many drivers have already logged in to this session.
Yeah, it'll be up to race control. They'll adjust the number of heat races we'll have, which will then inadvertently take and change the amount of drivers we take from our lower mains here, our last chance showdowns, if you will, which is always entertaining because these drivers know that's their last shot to make it into the main event. But I tell you right now, the times are coming fast and furious, Roger. These guys have only got 3 minutes to lay down their best lap. And they need to do that in a hurry in order to put themselves in the top 5. If you lock yourself inside the top 5 here tonight, you are on your way to tonight's main event.
Yeah, that's something these drivers always want to do, is lock themselves in right from qualifying with already 24 times put on the board here. McCorby, Greenslit, Ware, Woodard, and Hodgdon right now all have themselves inside that top 5. Couple drivers, quick drivers, still have yet to make their qualifying attempts here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway for the RacingSchool.net. Race fans, are you located up north here like we are, like a lot of these racers are, and you want to get behind the wheel of a race car, a modified, a street stock, a truck, even an old NASCAR Winston Cup machine? You need to head over to the RacingSchool.net today and look at the packages. They have a great Valentine's Day gift going on right now. It is half off for your sweetheart to get behind the wheel up there at the Racing School. So make sure you go check them out at www.theracing.school.net today and get signed up, and possibly, Al, could even catch us up there coming soon.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you got me that wasn't there, sweetheart.
Yeah, I got you the sweetheart package where I'll hand you the video camera and you can come with me and watch.
Hey, I like that. I'm better off on the sidelines than in the cockpit. We all know that.
Well, race fans, we like to welcome you all in tonight. Qualifying is over and we are getting ready to go as Danny Ware will take the quick time here tonight. Let's take a quick look at your qualifying results here as we get ready, though, for our heat races. There's your top 18 drivers. Ware, Jimmy Renfrew, Paul McGorby, David Greenslit, and Ryan Carman all will lock themselves in. So congratulations to those drivers. They will go to the main event here tonight. So let's take a look for the first time in the 2021 calendar year. Let's take a look at your starting lineup here tonight. Starting on the front row of the RacingSchool.net front row, it is going to be the number 18 of Dan Butler. Starting to his outside, it'll be the 88 of Ricky Nadeau. Right behind them, it'll be the driver of the 03 of Nathan Wetzel. Starting in position number 4, driving car number 2, it'll be Christopher Buffone. Starting in position number 5 here, driving the 73 tonight, it'll be the driver of Vern Woodard. Ben Boskowski will start the number 75 in position number 6. Kyle Buck will roll off 7th here tonight. Alan Young in the Young Guns creation, number 24. He'll start 8th. 9th will be Justin Benkowski in the number 91, and then it will be the driver, the youngster, the number 45, Casey Vietti, rounding out the top 10. Starting just outside that top 10, though, it's the American Canadian Tour champion, the number 37, Brian Hoare. Stephen Dickey Jr. is scheduled to roll off just in the 12th position here tonight, and behind him, starting shotgun to the field, that is actually race control. So Tony Quadros pulling the short straw here tonight. He won't be behind the wheel. He'll be up in the virtual booth calling the shots for these drivers.
An interesting note here, the top 5 drivers in this starting lineup were inverted. So the driver of that number 73 of Vernon Woodard, he actually set the 6th quickest time, missing the top 5 lock-in by 1 spot. He'll have to come from the inside the 3rd row as the pace car. Get ready to pull in. Dan Butler going to mash the gas first when they come off turn number 4.
It'll be the heat race number 1 here tonight for the RacingSchool.net entry. And it is the Racing School entry that starts on the pole as we are green flag racing. Heat race number 1 here tonight is underway at the new Smyrna Speedway. 12 drivers did make the call, but here comes Nadeau to the outside. He'll hold strong off of turn 2, and he'll take the race lead.
Nadeau leads them down in the turn number 3 for the first time. A good battle for your 3rd spot. The number 2 of Buffone working the outside of Wenzel in that 03 automobile. That's all behind the number 18 of Dan Butler, who rides 2nd. Vernon Woodard holds on to your 3rd spot, but the 75 of Ben Bowowski is working the outside. He's battling with Alan Young. And car number 24, they thought about making it 3 wide, this time off turn number 4. One car going around, the number 91 of Benkowski goes around in turn number 4.
Yeah, that's a single car spin here. We're waiting to see. I don't believe that's going to bring the caution flag out as he was towards the back of the field here. That's unfortunate for him. One of them up into the outside wall. That'll be the number 75 this time. I believe that's the Hudson Raceway entry. So Big Ben going to go up and slap the outside wall. That knocks him out of a transfer spot. Look at Dan Butler. He is struggling now. He just got put to the outside. 5 laps to go. Dan Butler is on the hot seat. We are taking 5 from the heat race.
Yeah, Young working to the inside with that Young Guns Creations number 24. He'll drive it in deep in turn number 3. Butler on the outside of the speedway. He's going to lose that 5th and final transfer spot. So far, 4 laps they're down. 4 to go here in heat race number 1. Is now Dan Butler on the outside going in the wrong direction. is now Alan Young, holds on to that 5th and final transfer spot. Kyle Bucket at 0-5, right 6, is now we got a bid for your 3rd spot off turn number 4.
Here comes that 73, looking to the inside. Vernon Woodard, one of those short track racers out there, also has some short track experience in the real world side of things. He is looking to take over 3rd. Not going to happen for the time being, but he'll shove it right back down to the bottom this track here tonight as we come to get 2 laps to go, as Dan Butler slides it off turn number 3 and 4. But with 2 laps to go out, this has been a bottom feeder track all night long. We saw Dan Butler get to the outside there, and he went straight backwards. A couple other drivers, like Big Ben, stuck to the outside, and then he went backwards too.
He did. It's so hard to work the outside of the speedway. There's these 8-lap heat races. Not enough time for a lot of the heat as the white flag flies for the number 88 of Ricky Nadeau. Final trip around the new Smyrna Speedway. They get the outside to really roll. The tires don't really wear out down that much in an 8-lap period. So the outside not coming into play during the heat race per se, but I bet you in the 75-lap main event they will as a checker flag waves. Nadeau will pick up the heat race win. Wenzel, Buffoon, Woodard, Young, your top 5, and those 5 drivers will lock themselves into tonight's main event.
Everybody else will have to go to a last chance qualifier here a little bit later on tonight. We'll get to see a couple of those drivers back out here to try it once again as we get ready for heat race number 2 here tonight, brought to us by the LFOD Motorsports. This is your starting lineup for heat race number 2.
Starting on the inside, on the front row, will be Jonathan Leder. Yeah, we'll just call him Jonathan there, Roger. Outside of him, the number 32 of the Horse Dog Motorsports entry, that is Eric Steele. Rodney Huntoon in car number 01, he'll start in the 3rd. Outside of him is dancing partner Justin Prescott in car number 44. Joel Hodgson will start 5th. Outside of him, Cooper Bouchard in car number 17. Mike Taschereau and Kyle Willis make up row number 4. Row number 5 is Milton Duran. Outside of him will be Eric Lorando in car number 46, and shotgun on the field, Mike Young in car number 66, and the 471 of Eric Pomasco. That's your 12 car starting grid here. Looks like Pomasco not able to make the starting grid here, so 11 cars are slated to take the green flag here in heat race number 2.
So one driver not going to make the call here. That is the driver of that 471, and he came actually from the Contender Series, qualified in here to race at the new Smyrna Speedway here on Sunday night with the Northeast Racers for the RacingSchool.net 75. So that's unfortunate for him. We'll see if he can get the car ready and back out onto the Speedway in one of our last chance qualifiers here tonight. It'll be another 8 laps the distance here, as it'll be 11 drivers that will take the green flag as the iRacing.com pace car makes the left-hand turn to pit road. We are ready to go. 11 drivers, 8 laps the distance. Heat race number 2 underway, and Eric Steele got a great start on the outside. That's the first time we have seen a pass here tonight from the outside row as he leads down the back straightaway here on lap number 1. Jonathan tucks in there for P number 2. Look at Bouchard. He'll throw the Piedmont air. One of them sideways. There goes the 51 to pit road.
Yeah, 51 of Jonathan Lederno. He got sideways, maybe a little bumper tag there. Was not ready to go. Eric Steele jumps out your race lead. Justin Prescott runs in your number 2 shot. And how about Bouchard up 3 spots? Started in the 6th spot. He currently resides in that 3rd spot, but the battle is back here for the 5th spot, which right now is held by Huntoon in that 01 automobile. He's got the 55 of Willis and the 33 of Taschereau.
Oh, 2 of them going to go around. One now goes around. The second one's going to catch it. Taschereau catches it, but that was Willis, Taschereau, and then Mike Young actually turned the 66 around, and he is trying to get back underway. He will get back underway, and we stay green flag, so it's still Steele, Prescott, Bouchard, Hodgson, and Huntoon, your top 5 drivers. And right now, Rodney's sitting in a pretty solid spot, which is 5 laps to go. He has about a half-second gap back to Milton Duran. We know how fast Duran is, but he's going to have 4 laps to come up and get it done. Looks like one driver up into the outside wall who's inside the top 5. That was the number 36 of Joel Hodgson. He got a little sideways out of turn number 4, and he went up the speedway into the wall.
And the checkup really let Milton Duran and the 46 to Lorando to close right back in. So now Duran all over the back bumper of that BO2 Precisions entry of Huntoon. And now Duran will cut to the inside. Huntoon stuck to the outside in turn number 1.
Here comes the battle for that transfer spot. Who will it be? Because of the Milton Duran Motorsports entries right there. And he will now slide up in front of Rodney coming out of turn number 2. So now Milton Duran has this has the transfer spot, but here comes Rodney. He'll look back down to the inside out of 4. One of them a little bit off the pace behind them. That's the number 55, or Kyle Willis. He was all over the place back there trying to gather up his number 55. It'll be 1 lap to go, and right now it's been all Eric Steele out front.
Yeah, Eric Steele working the speedball bearings, Oval Works sponsor number 32. Off a turn of 4, he'll get the white silk final trip around the new Smyrna Speedway. Prescott almost about 6/10 behind the number 32. Eric Steele looking very good here in heat race number 1. Heat race number 2, excuse me, as they come off turn number 4. The checkered flag is out, and the heat race will go to Eric Steele. Prescott will hold on to second. Bouchard third. Hodgson and Duran, your top 5 cars making the automatic bid into tonight's main event. Everybody else will have to go to the last chance showdown.
So 2 drivers picking up heat race wins here tonight. Nadeau and Steele both going to notch themselves a little bit of a, we'll call it the bragging rights of this, as they've been able to take the wins home here in heat race 1 and 2. So heat race 1 and 2 officially over with here. I believe this will take us into our C main event, as I believe we are scheduled for a C main. We'll see if that is what we have on the docket here.
It looks like they're going to bypass that and move right into the last chance showdown to B main here. So we're going to, looks like 10 cars, Roger, going to come out of this one. 15 laps in 10 cars. So we'll go to the main event.
And this is how they will line up. This is your Elfod Motorsports starting lineup here for the last chance qualifier. Starting on the front row will be the number 37 of Brian Hoare. Starting to his outside driving, the number 46 here tonight. He moved up from the Contender Series. That'll be Eric Laurendeau. Starting behind them, row number 2 in position number 3, driving the number 45, that'd be Casey Bietti. Starting in the 4th position, you just saw him lose that spot here. We will put, that is going to be the 01 of Rodney Hahn 2. It'll be Kyle Buck in the 05, starting in the 5th position. Mike Taschereau will start the number 33 Racing School entry in P number 6. Starting in the 7th position, it'll be Ben Bawowski in the number 75. It'll be Mike Young driving the 66, starting in the 8th position. Stephen Dickey Jr. is going to roll off scheduled 9th in the number 98. Rounding out the top 10 here, it will be the driver of the number 55. It'll be Kyle Willis, starting in the 11th position. It'll be the Racing School.net entry, the number 18 of Dan Butler. Then it'll be Jonathan in the number 51. Starting in the 13th position, or scheduled to start 13th, it'll be Big Ben back, or that is actually Justin Minkowski. Sorry, looked over at the wrong information here. And then Pumasco will be our final car here tonight.
14 cars vying for 10 positions. 4 drivers are going to have to put it up onto the hauler a little bit early and make their trek back up to the state of Maine, Vermont, where all these drivers reside and race on a weekly basis. The last chance showdown coming at you. 15 laps is the distance. Top 10, Roger. You got to be in there, or you're going to be watching on the sidelines here tonight.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to do. This is race number 3 of the season. We've been to the Five Flag Speedway. We've been to Concord. That means we have 2 winners so far this season. Those winners have been David Greenslit and Vernon Woodard. They have both put themselves in good spots here tonight, as they are into the main event. They are not racing here in the last chance qualifier. As the iRacing pace car comes in, we are ready to go green flag racing in the last chance qualifier here tonight for the Racing School.net 75.
Brian Hoare will mash the gas first and dumps the fuel into the carburetor. He'll jump out to the race lead. The Verizon entry of the 45 at Casey Bietti. He's working to the inside of Laurendeau. That's the battle for your number 2 spot. Everybody's still stacked up side by side off a turn of 4. A little bit of contact there. The 05 will book. And one car up on its lid. That's the 45 of Bietti. And they'll stick the landing, but the yellow flag coming out in the last chance showdown.
Al, I look over at the Canadian judge, and ooh, it's a rough one. He stuck the landing, and still only an 8.8 from the Canadian judge. That's going to be a tough one for Bietti.
Yeah, it was a tough break there as he was running inside the top 3 at the point of the incident. I'll take a look back here when the truck says we got to look and see what happened to the 45 of Casey Bietti.
Let's see, as this was coming off of turn number 4, Bietti's down below, and it actually started from behind him. 2 cars made the contact, and then that put the 46 up the speedway at Laurendeau and right into the back quarter panel there, the 45 turning Bietti around. I believe that was Kyle Buck, but we'll have to go back and watch it here Watch it again. Let's see if we can go a little bit higher up. That's actually the 05. That is Kyle Buck in the 05 that actually initiated the contact to start the big wreck.
Yeah, Buck came up the racetrack, the 46 of Lorendo, not giving him much room on exit, and unfortunately just clips to the left rear, or the right rear corner of the 45 of Vietti. And well, that's all she took there. It's one of those most helpless feelings that you can have as a race car driver is, well, you take and you sit there and you're running, and all of a sudden you're turned and you don't know why.
And, you know, Al, watching that back on the replay, you know, it's actually going to be pretty good for Casey Vietti. Yes, he's going to actually have to start towards the back, but he skidded on the roof for quite a while and then got that 45, put it back on the wheels, and he's going to be able to carry on with not much damage. Maybe a little piece to that nose clip is tore up, but otherwise, the car is not too bad.
Yeah, the car's not too bad. Maybe a little bit of right front damage there. We saw him underneath this yellow flag really shaking the car back sideways as the 05 of Buck getting handed the EOL penalty, so that'll give Vietti at least a little bit of a running start here to get back inside the top 10, but not the way you want to start your last chance qualifier. The good news is it looks like these laps will not be counting underneath the yellow flag here, Roger, as they have the first two races of the season for the last chance qualifiers, but it's still a long way to go. You got 13 laps to get it done. When the green flag comes out, it'll be 12. So not a lot of time, but can definitely get back inside the top 10. But this field is stout, and he's got a tall order in front of him.
Yeah, you got the driver of that number 37 of Brian Hoare, the Busch North American Canadian Tour champion right now, leading. He has since retired, though, from real world racing. He is actually a rookie as of last season. Al, we covered the Northeast Racers last season when Brian Hoare made his debut here on iRacing.com, and he's still at it here tonight in season number 2, and he'll lead us back to the green flag here in just a moment over Laurendeau, Hondoon, Bowowski, Dickey, and Taschereau right now, who is sitting in the 6th position. 10 cars are going to advance out of the last chance qualifier here tonight. Let's re-rack them, restack them, and give it another whirl.
Green flag is in the hand of the Barney, flagman, and he'll jump out of the flag stand. Green flag is back up. Laurendeau and Hoare side by side down here in the turn number 1. Laurendeau, a little bit of bumper tag with the 75 of Bozowski, and that'll send the 46 back to the 8th spot. Hoare and Huntu in your top 2. Good battle back here for 3rd as the teammates, the Hudson Raceway cars, side by side as yellow flag comes out. It looks like Pomaski and maybe the 46 of Laurendeau involved here in our last chance qualifier, bringing out our 2nd yellow flag. We'll have to take a look back and see what happened. I think just maybe some cars sideways, and that maybe Barney a little bit trigger happy with that yellow flag.
Yeah, just a couple cars sideways on that one, Al, triggering the caution flag. Nobody actually going for the full 360 here, but this will put us under the 2nd caution flag of the evening. We watched that one live as Laurendeau just went a little sideways. Pomaski also getting a little sideways down there in 3 and 4. So the caution flag will fly here for the 2nd time tonight in the last chance qualifier. 2 laps in out of the scheduled 15, so we are 2 for 2 right now.
2 for 2, and that was a little exciting there. The 46 of Laurendeau, he started on the outside of the front row in that restart. A little bit of contact between himself and the 75 of Bozowski. He went up the racetrack and kind of put him back into that hornet's nest. But how about that? Casey Vietti in car number 45 restarted in the 13th position, already back inside of a transfer spot. So to what you were talking about in the last heat race, that 45 not hurt, already quickly up inside the top 10. And I guarantee that driver was looking for a little bit more insurance as we go back green flag here in the next couple laps here after the iRacing Pace car to get the track cleaned up down there in turn number 3.
So as we pace here for the 2nd time, we got to pay some bills tonight here from the new Smyrna Speedway. We'll be right back here with the Northeast Racers for the RacingSchool.net 75.
Who's in the race car?
Dada.
Dada? You say go, Daddy?
Go, Daddy.
Welcome back here to the new Smyrna Speedway. As you see on the track, the lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car, so we will go back green flag racing right here. It'll be Hoare and Bowalski on the front row to lead us back to the green flag. 2 laps in, it'll be 3 laps in when we hit the start-finish line, as we are back racing here in the last chance qualifier. Hoare with another great start down to the inside, and oh, the 75 almost making contact. Hoare banging down there into turn 1. As they come down the back straightaway, it'll be the drag race into turn number 3. Ben to the outside and Brian to the inside. Who will lead this lap back to green flag? Great run off the top shelf. It's the Hudson, number 75.
Okay, it's got it wound up like a 10-day clock on the outside. Hoare trying to challenge back on the inside. First time we've seen the outside work. Contact off of turn number 2. The 75 of Bozowski and Hoare trade and paint. Now Bozowski up the racetrack. Here comes Rodney Huntoon. Huntoon in that 0-1 wheel. Trouble off of turn number 4. It looks like the 46 of Lorendo involved with the 45 of Bietti. Now the 75 up the racetrack. Yellow flag coming out here. Number 3 is big contact here on the front stretch. 0-5 of Buck, I believe, also involved. Mike Young getting the worst of this one here on the front stretch.
So let's watch it back here. Mike Young first, I believe, is going to be involved in the caution flag. There you see him sideways on the bottom, and yeah, he just lost it on his own. Nowhere for Kyle Buck to go, and then, oh, hard contact to the outside retaining wall right under the start-finish line for Mike Young. He had to tow it back to pit road. That's not good for him. Kyle Buck rolled away from that one in the B-tuned 05 entry. Lauren Dew's right there. I believe, who was that other car there, that green machine?
I believe that was Pomaski in the 471. He kind of just drove underneath him, well, made some heavy contact there. I thought he maybe made it underneath him, but didn't quite. A tough break for the 471 of Pomaski. But good news is, with these yellow flag laps not counting, then come down pit road, maybe get some of that damage fixed. You never know what's going to happen here in the late going of this one. Just 10 laps remaining in our last chance showdown.
Yeah, as we went on board there, but it will be 8 or 9 laps when we do get the green flag back into the air here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. As you see, we are back under our caution flag. Race fans, we got to thank you all for tuning in here tonight to watch the Northeast Racers, as you get to see some of these drivers compete in the real world side of things up there in New Hampshire and, you know, all over the Northeast, whether it's over in Vermont. Some of these guys out even travel over to New York to race, so it's good to see a couple of guys expanding the region, just not into the New Hampshire area, but also out a little bit. We'll call it, for them, that would be heading west.
Yeah, heading west out there, and see some of these drivers up at the Thunder Road Speedway during Milk Bowl weekend. And well, we used to go see Brian Hoare over at the Doubles Bowl Speedway. When I used to work up there, and with the American Canadian Tour, that Potent number 37 would roll into the pits, and you knew that that driver was going to be one of the contenders week in and week out when they showed up. A lot of good drivers out here. A lot of drivers already locked into this main event. We've already got 15 drivers locked in. 10 of these drivers trying to make it in and not get sent home. Unfortunately, it looks like Mike Young, motor and radiator knocked out of the front of that one. We'll have to see if he can make it back out onto the speedway, or Young might be headed home early. Same with the 471 of Pomasco. He's kind of been behind the 8 ball, had a bad qualifying effort, had some gremlins in the car, got it straightened out to come out here for the last chance qualifier, and just was in the wrong spot at the wrong time. As the lights go out on the Ford Mustang pace car, we'll be headed back green flag racing next time by.
So when we do come back green flag racing, it will just be 9 laps to go, I believe it is, as we got to wait for the official timing and scoring to update when we come back across the line, with the caution laps not counting here tonight. But it is going to be Brian Hoare, Rodney Hontoon, Bowalski, Dickey, Willis, Taschereau, Mikowski, Butler, and I believe Bietti is going to be the 10th place driver currently, as the green flag does come back out. We are racing once again here in the last chance qualifier.
Green flag back out. It'll be 9 laps to go. Huntoon on the outside of the speedway. A little bit of bumper tag, a little bit deeper in the field, but a good battle for your race lead. The 0-1 of Huntoon to the outside of Brian Hoare. Hoare in the Red Bull number 37, working the inside of the speedway. They'll lead it at the stripe by just the bumper cap. Huntoon now drives it in deep here in the turn number 1. Still great battle. All this in front of the 98 of Dickey. He's trying to figure out which lane to go with. Who's going to go forward? All the row is pretty even now. Horde has the car length advantage over the 98 of Dickey. Untune now going to go side by side with them at the stripe.
So right now, all these drivers are locked in. Take a look back a little bit farther on the bubble at the transfer spot. Dan Butler right now holding the 10th position. No contact out in front of them. I believe that was Big Ben down there. Bowalski. Oh, now somebody going around the 33 has been turned around the racing school entry. Caution flag on the speedway once again. That'll be the 4th caution flag here. Coming out at the New Smyrna Speedway.
6 laps to go here with our 4th yellow flag, the last chance qualifier. You don't think that making the show doesn't mean something to these drivers? You are mistaken. You see how hard they are racing every lap like it is the last one. And that one there looks like just a little bit of contact there. The battle for your transfer spot was really heating up there. Looks like maybe the 33 involved there, Roger.
Yeah, I believe this started, though, inside the top 5. So let's take the look back here with the truck and see, as you're watching the Hudson Speedway number 75 of Bowalski, as he goes down here into the corner. And let's see, coming out. Oh, Hantoon got a little sideways there and down hard into the inside wall. And then if we watch, everybody's able to get around him. And then it looks like the 55 of Kyle Willis comes up the racetrack. He gets into the 33 of Taschereau, and Taschereau down the speedway into the number 18 of Butler. So 2 team cars rubbing some paint there in turn 4. So it's kind of 2 separate incidents right there, because the Bowalski incident had nothing to do with the Taschereau going around. So we're going to have to go and see where Taschereau had his issue. That was just out of the camera shot. Back down the back straightaway here. There you see the 75 down into the inside wall. Here comes the 55. Oh, the 33 bobbles a little bit, and I think there might have been the unfortunate thing, how we hate to say, the net code might have played a little factor in that one.
Yeah, I definitely see that there, and that's just something that's out of the control of these drivers. It's kind of a background arithmetic that iRacing has in there, where if they think that contact was going to happen, even though there was no contact, it sends you around like there was contact. And unfortunately, Taschereau and Butler getting the short end of that stick there. I don't think Willis did anything wrong. They're just one of those racing deals where you get stacked up, and they got jammed up there in turn number 4.
So you see Taschereau right now will be scored back into the 12th position. Dan Butler, the team car, to the number 33, the 18. Well, he is scheduled to start right in front of him in position number 11. So currently both those drivers are on the outside looking in tonight. They would like to park the racing school entries into the main event here. They didn't even want to be into this last chance qualifier to get into the racing school 75 here in just a little while, but unfortunately it's an uphill battle from here. It's not too bad, though, out. Looking at it, top 10 will advance. So right now, Butler has to at least gain 1 spot. Taschereau would have to jump him yet. So we'll see, as it'll be a single file restart here. It'll be Brian Hoare, Stephen Dickey, your front 2.
Without racing these men, I doubt that we're done seeing contact, as Brian Hoare will get the green flag out. 6 laps remaining here in our last chance showdown. Brian Hoare jumps on the gas pedal. Stephen Dickey in your number 2 spot. We've already got them side by side. The 91 of Binkowski working the outside in that car number 91. He's gone from 5th to 3rd on this restart, and he's not done yet. Binkowski really working the outside of the speedway. Now Brian Hoare gets shuffled to the outside with Stephen Dickey to the inside. Side by side for your race lead in the turn number 1.
5 laps to go in the battles for the race lead as Dickey's trying to take it away. Hoare has led every lap here so far in the last chance qualifier tonight. Nothing has changed on the bubble. It is still Lauren Dew that holds that 10th position. Keep your eye on that bubble, as it'll be 4 laps to go. And right now, Eric Lauren Dew there in the number 46. He is holding the spot. That it's Dan Butler and Mike Taschereau right now, sitting on the outside looking in, looking out the windshield. They can see that's the transfer spot, hoping something happens. Transpires out in front of them as contact for the 2nd position. They're going to stack him up in turn number 3 and 4.
Oh, buck upside down. Taschereau working her through there. Dan Butler involved. Big junk down here in turn number 3. Stephen Dickey involved as well. That really shakes up your top 10 with just 3 laps to go in this last chance qualifier.
Yes.
Dickey's car all destroyed in the front of that one.
Yeah, that Hudson machine is definitely tore up here tonight. The driver out of the Hudson Speedway. We'll take the look back here for Stephen Dickey and see what just happened to him. It looks like that was the 91 of Bukowski that was also involved. See, the 91 brushes the wall and then goes to the inside, and unfortunate contact was made. And then look at everybody scatter. The 46 of Lauren Dew is involved. There you see the 18 of Dan Butler's down to the inside. He is involved. Watch it back from high above the sky here tonight. The Eye in the Sky presented tonight by the Racing School. This is the overhead view of this one.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen Dickey tried to get in there, Roger, doesn't it? And then Bukowski kind of gave him a break, maybe.
Yeah, and look at Buck. He actually went up over and bicycled the 05 entry in that, too. So there's a lot of different angles that we might be able to look at of this one. Watch the 5 here, the 05 and the number 46. There's the 18. All three of those drivers are involved in this incident here for the 6th caution flag of the evening. Oh, Buck just, Buck got bucked and went for a wild ride down there.
He got B-tuned.
Yeah, I would say he got the B-tune.
Well, he stuck the landing. How's the Canadian give him on that one?
I didn't quite look over. We're asked for the Canadian 7.3, Al. That's a rough bird over there.
Yeah, I mean, not as spectacular, not enough sparks maybe as the Bietti wreck had, but still, he stuck the landing, kept it going, never missed a beat. It still sits inside of a transfer spot.
Yeah, you remember, Al, back in the day when it used to be the Russian judge always giving us the bad scores. All of a sudden, our friends from the north are all of a sudden flashing cards that are a little bit lower than the Russian judge. So maybe some collusion going on there. We'll see if we can get race control over there to see what the Canadian judge has going on. Who paid him off here tonight?
Did you eat their French fries?
I had them one time, but not tonight.
I'll have to see. Maybe they're popcorn. You did have some popcorn a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
it looks like the field doubling up, though.
Yeah, I can say I do love my popcorn here, but looks like it'll be back to a double file restart here, closing in on the final stages of the last chance qualifier here, as it looks like it'll be Brian Hoare and Casey Bietti on your front row. iRacing pace car will dive in here, and we will get ready to go. It'll be 3 laps at the start-finish line, I believe, if it's telling us the right information here. Everybody's back on the gas, and Bietti with a great start. Bowalski actually giving the number 45 a push, and Bietti's going to door slap the number 37. That's going to upset Brian Hoare down the back straightaway. Bietti going to peek a little bit, and he's got the front right fender peeking that tire out. Also, contact behind them. A couple of them going to go around. It'll be popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go.
Bietti jumps out to the race lead. 2 laps to go. Brian Hoare to the inside. These guys are racing here for the win in the last chance qualifier. Now Hoare back to the front. One driver down pit road, that's the 18 of Dan Butler. Hit night tough break for the number 12 as they come out the corner. White silk will fly final trip around the speedway.
Brian Hoare has the lead right now, but the transfer spot is Eric Laurendeau, and there is nobody actually pressuring the number 46. So if he just finishes this lap, he should be in, as Brian Hoare will work down the back straightaway for the final time here in the last chance qualifier. He will lock himself in with winning the last chance qualifier here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. Hoare, Bietti, Bowalski, Hontoon, Jonathan in his 51, Willis, Buck, Taschereau, Dickey, and Laurendeau all will advance to the main event here in a little bit. Congratulations to all those drivers. We will see them back on the speedway in a little bit. The drivers going home, though, Bukowski, Polmasco, Butler, Young, all will have to hang up the wheel here tonight. It was a rough one for some of those drivers here at the new Smyrna Speedway.
It was. Now those 25 drivers that are in tonight's main event, they'll get onto the racetrack and get a warm-up, get back in there. Some of these drivers, remember, Roger, have not been in the race car since time trials. So sunset setting down here, a beautiful sunset here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Track changes are coming, cooler temperatures, and it's going to provide some great racing
That's exactly
action.
what I was trying to say, is those same exact words that you just fumbled around. But as we get ready to go racing here tonight, race fans, this is the Northeast Racers here, presented by the LFOD Motorsports. Tonight's main event brought to us by our friends at the Racing School. Head on over to theracingschool.net today, get your racing package, and head to the Thompson Speedway, the oldest short track in America. Provides some of the best short track racing action in the Northeast. We'll be right back with your starting lineups tonight for your A main event.
Who's in the race car?
Dada.
Dada? Say go, Daddy?
Go, Daddy.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the new Smyrna Speedway. Warm-up sessions are over. Qualifying is over. The heat races and the last chance qualifier are done here tonight. We are ready to go to the main event for the RacingSchool.net 75 here from the new Smyrna Speedway. Let's get down trackside. This is your LFOD Motorsports starting lineup. Your top 10 are going to look like this. Driving the 08 here tonight, Ryan Carmen will get virtual of the pole by the invert. To his outside, the Division II champion this season for NASCAR, to be the number 20 of David Greenslit. Starting just behind him, P number 3, the 87 of Paul McCorby. Jimmy Renfrew will start the 00 there in 4th. 5th will go to Danny Ware. Ricky Nadeau in the 88 is 6th. Eric Steele in the number 32 goes 7th. Wenzel in the 03 is 8th. Then it'll be Justin Prescott there in the number 44 going 9th. And rounding out the top 10, it'll be Christopher Buffoon in the number 2.
Starting inside of row number 6, that's the 17, the Cooper Bouchard. Outside of him, 73, that is Vernon Woodard. Joel Hodgson and Alan Young will make up row number 7. In the 35, Milton Duran will start 15th. 16th starting spot, the 37 of Brian Hoare. Then row number 9 will be the 17th starting spot will be the 45, that is Casey Yeti. Big Ben Bozowski in car number 75 will start 18th. 19th starting spot will be the number 01 of Rodney Huntoon, and Jonathan Latorno in car number 51 will start 20th.
Starting 21st here, coming down to the last chance qualifier, will be the number 55 of Kyle Willis, and it's going to be Kyle Buck in the 05 going off 22nd. 23rd here tonight will be the Racing School entry, the number 33 of Mike Taschereau. Starting 24th will be Stephen Dickey Jr. in the 98, and rounding out the field, it'll be Eric Laurendeau in the number 46 machine. That is your 25-car starting field as we're getting ready to go green flag racing here on the RacingSchool.net 75 here tonight. Racing pace car down and away, and we are feature racing here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway, and David Greenslit got a huge start there on the outside.
Outside of the Speedway roll, and here comes the 00 Renfrew. Renfrew in that number 00 working the outside of Carmen. Your fast man on the speed or on qualifying. Going to start 5th. Top 5 were inverted here tonight. David Greenslit going to lead lap number 1.
As Greenslit leads lap number 1, though, Jimmy's bringing the 00 back. Everybody's still stacked up behind them, though, as we zoom out just a little bit. That is the number 87 of McCorby, who's down to the inside with the orange and purple machine. There you see the 88 of Nadeau to the outside. Oh, they're going to try and squeeze Nadeau. It's not going to work. That good driving there by Paul McCorby as he goes back down to the inside of the Speedway. He could have squeezed up there into Nadeau, but that would have took a lot of them with. As McCorby sideways. Oh. Some of them more sideways. That's the 24. Alan Young going to go up over with the 44.
Big junk on the backstretch. Alan Young in the 24, the 44 of Justin Prescott. Hard contact with the outside wall. His car is all but torn up. He's struggling to get it down here onto the pit road. Yellow flag coming out here, lap number 4.
Yeah, the first caution flag here of the evening. One of them trying to get to pit road there. I think that was Laurendeau possibly who just can't quite get his machine turned into pit road. We're watching this back here. Alan Young in the Young Guns creation. Brand new paint on there. There's the 73. Oh, Woodard sideways, which actually made the contact with the 24 and then stacked them up behind him. That's the 44, actually. Correction, that was involved of Prescott. There's the 75. Ben also involved. So a handful of drivers involved in the first caution flag of the night, and it's going to end, I believe, Prescott's night.
Yeah, that car really torn up the front end, knocked out of it, had a hard time getting it to turn into pit road there. But yeah, it looked like Vernon Woodard just got a little bit sideways there off of turn on the backstretch, and then that caught the 24 of Alan Young up the racetrack. Some of these cars got some damage, but I'm pretty sure they should be able to carry on here in tonight's 75 main event, sponsored or brought to us by the Racing School.
Milton Duran has damage on his Duran Motorsports number 35, so he'll have to now climb his way from the back of the field as he just spent some time down on pit road. They checked the toe, they checked the tires, cleared the fenders. He's good to go. Now, Al, one thing we do know about these street stocks is you can smack them up, you can beat them up, you can turn them over, and they can still be very quick here tonight. So Milton Duran, who's going to start back in the 24th position, along with, I believe, that's going to be the 73 of Vernon Woodard, and Alan Young are back there also. So some drivers that are quick are going to now have to come from the back, and some of them have damage.
They do, but they also have 71 more laps to get there, so they got plenty of time here. These drivers all are the best of the best, making it into tonight's feature event. So we see a lot of hard-nosed racing, and that just every inch on the racetrack means so much. They got to keep them clean, though, to get to the end of this one. The pace car getting ready to come off the racetrack off turn number 4. We're going to go back green flag racing with our main event.
So caution flag number 1 going to be in the books here as the green flag comes back out. Everybody back under the flag stand. Green flag is racing, or green flag is back out, and we are racing as in Renfrew. We'll work the inside of the Renfrew Motorsports 00 entry. He is going to look to take the lead here over David Greenslit. Greenslit in the Vermont Cabinetry, number 20, works the outside of the speedway. Here comes the 08 of Carbon also. New paint on the 08 entry, but it will be the street stock driver of David Greenslit leading lap number 4.
Lap number 4 going to Greenslit. He'll jump out to the race lead over the 00 down the backstretch. Going to be a good door-to-door battle between the 08 of Carmen and McCorby. In that 87, working the outside of the speedway. They're bringing the number 28 of Danny Ware. And here comes the number 2 of Buffon. Buffon into your 6th spot is the 17 of Bouchard, and they do go door-to-door off turn number 2.
Bouchard into the outside wall off turn number 2. He'll stack him up. Wenzel had to go to the inside of the speedway in the 03. Bouchard still sideways in the Piedmont Air, number 17. That car is ill handling here in the early stages of this one. Cooper Bouchard did go forward when that wreck happened, but ever since he's been to the outside, that number 17 just can't get it rolling. Now finally trying to find some speed down the back straightaway. He'll pull back side by side with Wenzel as they work into 3.
A little bit of contact, a little bit behind them with the Torno and Steele. Is that battle still door-to-door between Bouchard and the 03 of Wenzel? Wenzel a little bit sideways in the SimCube 03. Then that'll allow the 17 of Bouchard there. You got to wonder, Roger, did he get up into the loose stuff? Go contact up front. Your race leader goes around.
David Greenslit's going to go around, and they're going to stack him up on the front straightaway here. One of them on its lid. That'll bring out the second caution flag here of the night, and Brian Hoare, you see him. He's trying to get his car back turned around, but it all started at the front of the field with David Greenslit getting turned, coming off of turn number 4. This one's going to take a little bit to dissect, I believe, as Paul McCorby, I believe, may have been the one that initiated the contact. We will find out, though, as actually it's going to be Renfrew, I believe, in the 00. This is the replay. Renfrew down to the bottom there, you see it, and then he gets jacked up the inside lane, and that's where McCorby gets involved, and he actually winds up on the lid.
Maybe a little bit of net code there. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but definitely some hard contact there. How about the drive into the 32 of Eric Steele? I don't know if we can get a replay of that. He snaked through there and didn't get hit, and they had cars on all sides of that number 32.
Just watch it back and to see how the front straightaway just gets clogged up. You said, I believe that was, who that made it through there?
the 32 is still, he got hit by Brian Hoare, but other than that, kind of just snaked through there.
Here we go, on board riding with the driver of the number 32 of Eric Steele. Yeah, that's some great driving there by the Horse Dog Motorsports driver of Eric Steele. So he actually will be the big mover there. He's going to pick up a ton of positions after he missed that craziness on the front straightaway.
Yeah, it looked like just a little bit of, needing to get somewhere there. And see some of these drivers down on pit road now getting their cars fixed. And, well, the good news is these caution laps are not counting, so they can get down there, fix as much damage as they can to get back out on the speedway. But we got a new race leader after all that. And how about the 08 of Ryan Carmen is your new race leader. He brought the 28 of Danny Ware. They were somehow able to snake through there, and those will be your front row here once we go back green flag racing.
Yeah, brand new paint scheme on this Clarkson Sons Racing entry. He will now retain the race lead. The Cobco Tech and Company, or Tech and Hobby Company, sponsoring the 08 here tonight. I do miss the old monster Kit Kat Dodge that he had. That was a beautiful paint scheme, but this one here tonight is still beautiful, but it's got some wrinkles on the front nose after that.
It does there. He had nowhere to go, got on the backside there. But we'll see if it hurts his performance as the pace car jumps into the safe haven of pit road. And now the field in the hands of the 08 of Ryan Carmen. He'll jump on the gas pedal. We're back underway with our feature event.
And it will be Carmen and Ware that do the jig side by side, as Danny Ware is going to make Carmen be a little cautious there on the throttle down in turns 1 and 2 as he pinched him. We are 3 wide racing at the back of this field here, Al. 3 wide, I believe that was Rodney Hahn too. They got forced 3 wide, and now Cooper Bouchard's going to loop the Piedmont Air number 17 around. We'll see if that brings out a caution flag as he is at the tail end of the field here. We stay green for the time being as Danny Ware works down the back straightaway. He's got momentum built up, and it looks like he should be able to take the race lead as, Carmen's going to throw it in deep. So did the 88 of Ricky as, one of them going around.
03 of Wenzel going around here in turn number 4 as well. I believe the 75 gone around. As our yellow flag comes out once again.
So as that caution flag comes out, let's take the look. As you look at the 03 of Wenzel, he is involved in this with his SimCube 03 entry. Let's see. There you see the, it's actually the 75 that got turned around to start all that. I believe that was Bowowski.
Yeah, Bowowski looked like he got touched by the 46 there. Possibly trying to make it up. Eric Lorando making contact down in the turn number 3. That sent the Hudson Raceway number 75 up the racetrack. The 03 of Wenzel, an innocent bystander. And we are slowed for the 3rd time here. Trouble getting going here at the new Smyrna Speedway on the RacingSchool.net 75.
And as we pace here at the new Smyrna Speedway, we got to pay a couple of the bills. We'll be right back here with the Northeast Racers presented by the LFOD Motorsports for the RacingSchool.net 75.
Who's in the race car?
Dada.
Dada? Say go, Daddy.
Go, Daddy.
Welcome back here to the new Smyrna Speedway for the RacingSchool.net 75 here for the Northeast Racers. Working our caution flag, I believe, number 3 here of the evening. Threw my pen across the room here, Al. We were talking about the argument between popcorn or French fries, and you went with the French fries, I went with the popcorn, and then, you know, and here we are back racing.
Yes, pace car is down and away. We're ready to go back. Green flag. Barney the flagman throws it out. Ware and Carmen on the front row. They got Nadu right to the back bumper. Aware a little bit of bumper tag. That's going to stack up the field. Tashiro goes around in turn number 1. We stay green for now. Yellow flag coming out the 33 of Mike Tashiro. Heavy contact with the outside wall. All stemming from some bumper contact that stacked up the field in turn number 1.
So caution flag number 4 onto the speedway quickly here, as you do see the RacingSchool.net entry down on the inside. The driving instructor, owner, operator there out of the racing school. He'll have to go to pit road, and I do not believe they have any quick repairs here tonight, so we'll see if he can get the number 33 back out onto the speedway. Let's watch it back here. Let's see what we can find. There you see the number 33 getting a great push by Vernon Woodard down into the corner, and and then just off the bumper of the number 73. Nowhere to go for the 33. He had to lift. If he didn't lift, he was running over the 75 of Bowowski.
Yeah, there is nowhere to go, and it looks like on that restart there, the outside line didn't quite go. 98 of Stephen Dickey just pushing the 45 to the backside of Latorno in that 51 car. That kind of stacked them all up, and it kind of jolted them, and 33 onto the back of Stephen Dickey. And then the 73 of Woodard, nowhere to go, Roger. It's one of those tight things on these restarts. Everybody trying to get through the gearboxes, and, well, not so easy here in the street stocks.
Yeah, they are the rookie class, quote, you know, as we go on board there with Tashiro, there was nothing he was going to do on that, and that's just unfortunate. But they call it the rookie class. But we know as sim racers that this is not the easiest car. About 300 to 450 horsepower, depending on the class. And then also only a 7-inch wide tire on these street stocks. Heavy, about 3,600 pounds of weight behind them. I mean, the body roll itself is enough to turn a car around.
Yeah, these cars are on the edge from the get-go. You kind of got to drive them with an egg underneath your foot until they get the tires up to temperature. Then you can do some maneuvering. But they do take a beating. You know, you can lay the bumper and stuff, but you got to know when to lay the bumper and when not to lay the bumper. And you know, on these restarts, maybe especially on lap 10 of 25-lap main event, maybe it's not time to be pushing people on these restarts.
Yeah, that's something that we're pretty accustomed to. We've seen street stocks, not just here at what we would call the bull rings or the short tracks all across iRacing, but also we've taken these cars to the tracks like Daytona International Super Speedway, and you cannot, as I believe somebody's motor just expired on the front straightaway here as they drove by our virtual booth, but you cannot really push with these noses. The back ends of the street stocks are flat, but this is the second generation quote-unquote F-body, Trans Am or Camaro nose, and they just do not line up. It'll be a single-file restart here, though, with Danny Ware, Carmen, Nadu, Buffon, and Hodgson right now, your top competitors here. Single-file restart. We are back racing here at the new Smyrna Speedway.
Ware going to jump out to the race lead, and the 45 of Casey Betty's the first car to step out of line. He goes to the outside of the 51 of Latorno. Latorno on that 51 back to 7th. That's a good side-by-side battle. Everybody else there, single file. One car through the grass. That's Latorno. He'll come back out onto the racetrack, and we'll stay clean and green. By the time being, Danny Ware showing the way off turn number 2.
Yeah, that was the Nitro Pop-Tart machine. He was eating a couple Pop-Tarts and just dropped them. There's a battle up here inside the top 10. Brian Hoare is currently leading Eric Steele and Alan Young. It looks like that is the Kyle Willis entry, who's sideways that time coming out of turn number 4. That's going to stack him up. Vernon Woodard had to lift out of the throttle in his entry, so he's going to be down to the bottom. Early in this race out, early in the night, we said the outside lane was not the place to be. Well, here in the main event, we've seen a lot of drivers make passes here as we now look at the number 24, who looks to the inside of the number 37 of Brian Hoare. So Alan Young going to still make the inside work, but the outside may be starting to roll in here.
Yeah, the outside of the speedway, you see Hoare get the momentum down, but Alan Young has a half car length advantage in the turn number 3, right behind him, the 32 of Eric Steele, and it's the 55 of Willis. Willis holding on to the top 10 is Wenzel trying to come back after his off-road excursion a little bit earlier on in this feature event. And right behind them, Renfrew and the 20 of David Greenstead. So they've got them jammed up and jelly tight down the backstretch. Good battle side by side all the way through here. This is the best action on the racetrack. Everybody out front kind of settling in, getting into a single file to go walk some laps here as they work lap number 17.
55 of Willis still works the bottom of the speedway. That's Eric Steele in the chrome number 32 entry. Brand new paint scheme for the driver of Eric Steele as you see him work down into 3 and 4. Question being, though, as he got a little loose there, and then up the speedway he went. It looked like Willis also got loose. That gave Nathan Wenzel a good run out of turn number 4, but nowhere to go in the Sim Cube 03. Now it will be Eric Steele looking to the inside. He'll crossover move here on Brian Hoare. Hoare has damage, Allen. Now this is the second time in the last 3 laps we've seen him get past. Is there just too much nose damage on the Red Bull number 37 that it is going backwards with engine damage?
It might have gotten to the point where the engine's starting to overheat a little bit. Maybe it has a little bit of engine damage. Oh, now he's going to have major damage. Contact between himself and the 03 of Wenzel and Brian Hoare. Hard contact head on to the inside wall off of turn number 2. Just as we were talking about him, wondering if maybe some engine damage. Well, now we know some heavy front end damage to that Red Bull number 37.
So the ACT driver gonna be headed to pit road, I believe, and his night is gonna end sooner than he would have liked, as he was driving inside the top 10 at the time of the incident. We're watching back here on our Turn 3 Racing replay what just happened. There you see the 03 dive it down to the inside. Let's see off the corner. This is where the contact happens. Oh yeah, or maybe just a little sideways, but the 03 stuck the nose there, and unfortunately they made the contact and went around. We'll watch this from our trusty Eye in the Sky here tonight, presented by the RacingSchool.net entry. There you see the 37 up the track, and it looked like, Al, no matter what direction Brian Hoare just went, those two were going to come together off of turn 2.
Yeah, he got maybe a smidge on the loose side, but the 03 of Wenzel had a major push up off the corner, and they were going to make contact one way or another on the racing surface. But, and some contact here underneath the yellow flag, and, well, that will put some nights to the end here. But unfortunately for the 37 of Brian Hoare, his night is going to come to an end prematurely here on lap number 18.
So right now it's Danny Ware, Ryan Carmen, Ricky Nadeau, Casey Bietti, Christopher Mahone. Then it's Joe Hodgson, Alan Young, Eric Steele, Kyle Willis, and Jimmy Renfrew. That is the current top 10 here tonight in the RacingSchool.net 75. And as we are under caution flag, it's that time again. We have to pay the bills here tonight for the RacingSchool.net 75. We'll be right back after our messages.
Dada.
Dada? Say go, Daddy?
Go, Daddy.
Welcome back here, race fans. Just in time to go back to the green flag racing action as the iRacing pace car dives in, and we are working back to green flag racing. Danny Ware got a great start to the outside once again. Carmen will go side by side. The youngster of Casey Bietti coming to play to the outside. He makes the outside pass look easy out of turn 2. Now he'll go after Danny Ware. This time we'll have 20 laps in the books here. Danny Ware, the race leader.
Yeah, remember Casey Bietti coming from the last chance showdown as he takes a bit to the inside underneath the 28 of Ware. Can't do anything with him, blows it up. Joel Hodgson coming as well. Those two drivers in the double digits in the plus column coming from deep in this field. It is now Hodgson and the 08 of Carmen run door to door down the front stretch in the turn number 1.
We just saw the outside work for Casey Bietti. Will we see it work for the driver of the number 36? As he's going to scrape the outside wall a little bit down the back straightaway. Into turn 3 they go. It's still side by side. And is that the number 2? That is. Chris is right there, but one of them up the track. That's the Eric Steele entry. Steele going to lose a ton of positions. He was inside the top 10. Now he's back to the 16th position, as in turn 3 and 4, he just missed the corner, missed the groove, and up the track he went. He'll have to rebound, but now that's a lot of cars to pass.
And noticing during the replay shots there, we noticed how much marbles are starting to gain on the outside of the racetrack. So it's going to take a lap or two for the 32 to get those tires cleaned off, get the grip back to a maximum amount. It's contact off the corner, 0.5, a buck to the inside. Here comes the 15, Latorno. He thought about making it 3 wide underneath the 75 of Bazowski. Couldn't quite do it that time off of turn number 4. They'll keep it double file in the turn number 1.
Buck right now has moved up 8 positions. He was involved in one of the first early wrecks here of the night with the B205 entry, currently running in the 14th spot. Carmen picking up a spot here as Nadu slides up the speedway in the 88. Remember, Ryan Carmen restarted on the front row here when we went back racing with 20 or 19 laps in the books. Well, Carmen has fell now to the 5th running position. Here comes Alan Young. And you want to talk about a beat up, banged up, crinkled up beer can here tonight? Alan Young and the Young Guns creation is showing what pure skill and talent can do for you, as he has now got the Young Guns creation not only up 8 positions, but he has passed the most cars here tonight. He is currently running 6th, knocking on the door of the top 5.
Yeah, Alan Young trying to catch the 08 of Carmen. He's got about a half a second to make up. Here comes the 88 of Nadu. He really threw it in there. Young up the racetrack, getting the momentum. He'll hold on to that 6th spot as Latorno and Dickey swap spots back here in the 15th and 16th spot, as they are door-to-door. One car up the racetrack again. Eric Steele will kiss the concrete as Lord Latorno and the 98 of Dickey run wheel-to-wheel in turn number 3.
Yeah, they're battling hard back here. This is the battle outside the top 10. This is for about 15th on back, so you can tell how much every position here tonight counts for these drivers. As one driver coming back out onto the speedway, that's the RacingSchool.net entry of Mike Taschereau. He'll come back out, currently being shown in the 23rd position. I believe it's about 17 laps behind our race leader, who comes across the start-finish line, as that is Danny Ware.
Hey, you might be asking yourself, why would the 33 of Taschereau come back out? Well, he comes out now. He can pass at least 3 other drivers who have retired from the race tonight. There is a points championship underway, so every spot matters for the points championship here. This is race number 3. As Ware showing away, Bietti starting to roll them in every so often. A little bit of electrical issues on that 45. But about a half a second behind Danny Ware. And right now, Bietti going to school, trying to figure out where he can make up the time and how he's going to get by the 28 when he gets there.
Next time by, we'll be halfway home here from the new Smyrna Speedway here for the Northeast Racers. You are watching the RacingSchool.net 75, and you are watching the front 2 battle for the race lead. Danny Ware has it, but Casey Bietti is showing the speed in the number 45. Let's see. Looks like he gets into the corner just a little bit better, and then off the straightaway, or off the corner, he's able to carry the momentum down the straightaway a little sideways that time. Look at Hodgson right now back there in the 3rd position. He was complete sideways. Christopher all over him. One of them sideways.
Oh, he gets sent.
Looks like Joel's going to be able to hang on, but now he'll climb the retaining wall coming out of turn number 4. Joel Hodgson going to go from running 3rd back to the 7th position. It looks like the car is still good. I don't see any real damage on it, but look at Alan Young. He'll benefit from this. He'll take 1, and now he's going to be looking to take 2, as now he'll be shown in 4th. 2 for 1 in 1 lap.
And the 2 of Buffon up to your number 3 spot. Maybe some contact with himself in the 36 to Hodgson as they were starting to lose touch. Your race leaders now, Buffon starting to open up the gap over the 24 of Young. They work down the backstretch. Up front, though, nothing's changed about Bietti. all over him as the 0-1 of Rodney Huntoon takes it to the pits off of turn number 4. 35 laps complete, 36 working it now off of turn number 2, and Ware starting to open up the gap up to a half a second again is Bietti trying some different lines, trying to figure out as the lights come on here at the new Smyrna Speedway.
The lights are coming on. That means we're getting closer to the end of this one. The sun's going down. The heat's being turned up. One of them sideways. That's the 08 of Carmen as they flash under the flag stand here at a complete lap number 36. Still Danny Ware. We'll look at the Young Guns creation, number 24 of Alan Young, and behind them they're stacked up. Joel Hodgson still going backwards as here comes Vernon Woodard in the 73. He's had to work his way from the back of the field all the way up here inside the top 10. He's looking for another one. Contact between the two at the start-finish line. Hodgson gonna hit the outside wall. He'll scrape right underneath the flag stand there. They keep them both pointed in the right direction. That could have got ugly because right there's the 88 of Ricky Nadeau. David Greenslit's there. Milton Duran. Big Ben's also hanging out back there. So there's a lot of drivers right here in this battle.
And just noticing right now inside the top 5, quietly making his way back inside the top 5. How about the 00 of Renfrew?
Contact there, though, just outside this battle. Joel Hodgson was sideways once again. The 88 of Ricky Nadeau fed him a little bit of the bumper down there in turns 1 and 2. That sent the 36 sideways. He'll lose 1. He'll lose 2 positions now. Hodgson goes from 3rd to 10th and under 6 laps.
Yeah, Hodgson now has got the 35 of Duran trying to figure out a way. He'll get to the back bumper, pushing him down the backstretch. Duran, another touch to the 36 to Hodgson. Hodgson up the racetrack. He'll kiss the outside wall. Everybody giving the 36 to Hodgson the business. Did he steal their French fries out there, Roger? They are just giving them the bumper on entry to the corners.
I just heard that it was actually Joel Hodgson that paid off the Canadian judge here tonight at the New Smyrna Speedway, and all the racers just found out.
Well, I would not want to be inside the 36. He's had his hands full. Is now Hodgson back to the 14th spot, and will single file it out. Back there, the 05 of Buck and the 51 of Latorno are doing battle. Latorno on the outside wall. Remember, we saw him involved in that wreck a few laps ago with his Pop-Tarts Nitro number 51. Is that side by side, but up front, Danny Ware and Casey Bietti 3 seconds in front of the field, and they are battling it out here as Bietti really closing in on the backside of the 28 of Ware.
43 laps will click off that time by, and Danny Ware still holding the top spot as there's battles back here, though. David Greenslit and Ricky Nadeau are battling it out. I just saw it flash there for a moment, and then it came right back onto the screen that it was Nadeau holding on to the position. Drivers are starting to get kind of strung out a little bit finally here. Drivers are in packs of 2s and packs of 3s, as you see Nadeau and Greenslit. Then just out in front of them, it's a group that's going around a lap car. I believe that lap car is the 33 of Taschereau right there. That's the Young Guns creation. 24, that's Buffon, and then here comes Jimmy Renfrew in the Renfrew Motorsports entry. He'll work the bottom of the speedway in turns 3 and 4. He'll try to get around that Young Guns creation, but Alan Young will have it at the line. This is the battle inside the top 5. It's for 3rd, 4th, and 5th currently on our timing and scoring charts.
Remember, Renfrew I was just starting to talk about that before the exciting action deeper in the field. Renfrew was involved in that opening lap accident with himself in the 20 of Greenslit. Renfrew now into the 4th, 5th spot as they battle for it. David Greenslit starting to rebound his own contact between the 00 and the 24 of Young. Young up the racetrack, Renfrew right there. They'll still be door to door, wheel to wheel in turn number 3. Renfrew rolls the bottom of the speedway. He'll take away that 4th spot, slides it up in front of Young. Young will try to do the crossover, but can't do anything with him in the turn number 1.
So Jimmy Renfrew will pick up the 4th position, putting Alan Young back a spot. He'll be running P5 currently. That's going to allow Buffon, though, to get out there a little bit. About 6-7 car lengths gap from the 3rd to 4th position. The top 2, though, as you see them come by here to complete lap 48, they are gone, and they are only separated by, well, what, a car length? If that down the back straightaway. Oh, Casey Bietti is going to overstep there. He is going to touch the outside wall coming out of turn 2. This time by 49 laps in the books as we close in on the closing stages of this one here at the New Smyrna Speedway.
Next time by, it'll be 25 laps to go. The paint window starting to get greased up. Does anybody have anything for Danny Ware? Ware up to a 4/10 second lead over the 45 of Bietti. Bietti really charges turns 3 and 4, makes up a lot of time, but Ware just got such a great drive off the corner right now where he's kind of in pace. This is 4 seconds in front of the battle for third, as Renfrew about half a second off the number 2 of the phone as they work there for your number 3 spot.
As we close in on the final stages of this one, though, the Attaboy Awards got to go currently. Now, knock on wood, race fans, because this is not the final, per se. Things can still happen with over 20 laps to go, but Casey Bietti has passed more cars than anybody here so far tonight. He is up to the 15th running position. So far, the driver that's had the roughest night, he's back out on track. It's Paul McCorby. He qualified for this race here at the New Smyrna Speedway coming from their Contender Series. So McCorby back here, he is down 17 positions since the drop of the green flag. He's running 20th as we have a battle that's right here inside the top 10, or for, I should say, the top 10, because that's Wenzel who's running in the 11th spot. Duran has the 10th position. That's Nadu right ahead of him. And Bowalski back here also. So 4 cars under the blanket battling for a top 10 spot.
Yeah, Duran trying to find a way around the 88 and Nadu as they work off turn number 4. Back there, Wenzel side by side with the 75 of Bowalski. Contact in the turn number 1, and that'll send Wenzel around. Wenzel around, yellow flag coming out, the 6th yellow of the evening, as the Sim Cube number 03 of Wenzel. Nathan Wenzel will get pulled away. He comes from the Contender Series as well. That's in the scoring and system. You see the B next to them. That is where they have to qualify to be able to even attempt to race here tonight in the Northeast Racers LFOD Motorsports Street Stock Division. This is going to change up a lot of things here, Roger, as we got the yellow flag with just 21 laps to go when the green flag comes back out. Your top 2 had gone and ran away. That's going to now allow a very fast number 2 of Buffon back to the front of this one, and the 00 of Renfrew. We saw how Renfrew came back through the field, but that's going to join the whole field back together here with just under 20 laps to go.
Well, let's take a look, though, here first at what just transpired to bring out the 6th caution flag of the evening. We were watching these drivers as they were all battling just outside, or just inside and outside the top 10. Oh, the 75, Bowalski just straight to the inside there, getting contact with the left rear quarter panel of Wenzel's machine. He goes around, so it's a 2-car incident here to bring out the 6th caution flag of the night. As, well, I can tell you right now, your front 2 of Ware and Bietti did not want to see the caution. But I believe your Christopher Buffon group, they wanted to see that caution because they know they have a fast piece here tonight. All they needed was to have a chance, and now this is going to be the chance that they have. Is there a way that he can make it to find winner's circle tonight?
My question is, does Renfrew have any tires left? He's had to come back from the field, went for the slide for life. Same with the 20 of David Greenslade, who's going to restart in the 8th position. Do they have tires left here? Has Danny Ware used up his tires? Him and Casey Bietti battling it very hard at the front of this one. Those 2 had broken away. 4 seconds of a lead evaporates now underneath this yellow flag. Will they have anything to hold off these drivers behind them? We know Alan Young has been fast. Renfrew got by him, though. So can anything happen? They're going to start on the outside. Is that going to be the bad news bears for Danny Ware?
Well, I don't know, but here's something you got to think about also. Yes, we've seen Renfrew go to the back and come back to the front. There is no changing tires here in the Northeast Racers. The tires you start on for the main event are the tires you must run all the way through. No tire changes, even if you would blow a tire out. Sorry, better luck next week. But this week's not done yet, as we will be under 20 laps to go when we go back racing. It'll be Danny Ware, Casey Bietti, Jimmy Renfrew, and Christopher Buffon, your top 4 drivers here. The iRacing.com pace car will make the left-hand turn, and we'll go back racing to finish this one off here tonight at the New Smyrna Speedway for the RacingSchool.net 75.
Green flag is back out. Danny Ware choosing the outside of the speedway. Casey Bietti's going to jump over that. He'll take your race lead into turn number 1. Danny Ware with the crossover. They'll be door-to-door down the backstretch. Bietti on the outside. Ware to the inside. Here comes Renfrew. He's got by the number 2 of Buffon. And will go to 3rd. New race leader off of turn number 4. Casey Bietti will lead lap number 15.
So with 20 laps to go here, Casey Bietti making a charge here to put his name in the books as we ride on board. It looks like this is from the Renfrew passenger side, as it will be Danny Ware slamming the door on Casey Bietti. Bietti sitting there. Good racing here inside the top 5. Currently all these drivers battling to see if they can pick up a win or at least a podium finish. It's Ware, Bietti, Renfrew. Now Bietti up to the outside of the speedway down there in turns 1. He'll get a great launch off the top shelf, though. Down the back straightaway they go, so it'll be Bietti picking back up that second spot.
Yeah, Bietti working the outside of the speedway, keeping the momentum up. He'll stay in front of the number 00 of Renfrew, now trying to get back his bearings to attack the 28 of Danny Ware. Top 4 cars starting to break away as the side-by-side battle will break out between Alan Young and Carmen as they battle for the 5th spot. Renfrew right to the back bumper once again on Bietti. 17 laps to go at the stripe.
17 laps to go. Alan Young still trying to make his charge, and Hill's kind of attached to the back bumper. Caution flag out onto the speedway. Caution flag out. I believe it's the Hudson Speedway. Number 75 of Bowalski. Believe he went off the speedway and came back on with 17 laps to go. So let's take a quick peek and check out. Was it the 75? As it looks like he went to the inside of the SimCube entry. Off the corner. Oh, the 32. Door checked. Well, he was a little sideways of Eric Steele. Getting in to Bowalski, turning him around on the front straightaway.
Yeah, it looked like Steele had his tires a little bit sideways there. I don't know if maybe some contact between himself and Wenzel, and then unfortunately Bowalski on the inside, nowhere to go. Kind of an innocent bystander here for the Hudson Speedway number 75. Car has seen better days. I don't think there is a straight quarter panel. You might be able to buy some of these pieces here before they leave here tonight, Roger. I know you like to make your wall decor of some banged up sheet metal.
Yeah, I'd like to have that quarter panel back there, the 75, where it just says the Hudson Speedway. That'd be a really cool piece to have in your man cave. I know, Al, you have some of those Ford Racing Performance things on your walls, and the only reason you got those is because nobody else wanted them, and that's understandable.
Well, you know, you got to be fast, and you got to make your room fast, so you need the Ford products.
Well, you know where you need to go to get fast or get good if you're part of the Turn 3 Racing Network. You know where the saying comes from. Well, you need to head on over to theracingschool.net today. Remember, Valentine's Day is coming for all you ladies out there or significant others, Al. And maybe you should, well, get your friends even this package. Head on over to theracingschool.net today. Get half off on your package. You can get a ride along. You can actually get behind the wheel. You can even take classes up at the Racing School today. We had 2 drivers in this event here tonight, driving instructors from the Racing School. Mike Taschereau, whose night did not go as a plan, and Dan Butler, who kind of got shuffled and just found the wrong place at the wrong time. Al, I don't think there's a more unlucky driver on the iRacing surface other than Dan Butler. His night tonight did not go to plan. His night last week did not go to plan. I can tell you, though, Thursday night, he had a great run in that SK Modified race he was in. It was a top 5 finish for him. Slide jobs galore coming to the finish line.
Yeah, Dan is a great competitor, great guy out there, always out in the pits trying to help out his fellow competitors if they need a part or whatever here, especially when these guys show up at the racetrack and they practice all day to put on a great show for us here on Sunday night. So, unfortunately, Dan unable to make the show here tonight, but he'll be back next week, I guarantee that. And as Roger was alluding to, you can see them race on Thursday nights when Muth in the booth, you bring the action of those SK Modifieds.
Yeah, the SK Modifieds for Red Light Racing come to the track every Thursday night to bring and feature some of the best short track racing action, just like we see here tonight with some of the best short track racing racers from the Northeast, hence the name of the Northeast Racers. But take a look this time, Danny Ware, who chose the outside lane last time we took a restart. This time he'll be wise and pick the inside. He knows he's got the fast number 45 of Casey Bietti right behind him as the green flag comes back out into the air. 16 laps to go as Ware this time. Can he get a good run off the bottom shelf? Casey Bietti's trying to do exactly what Danny Ware did last time and take the race lead from the outside.
Yeah, Bietti with the momentum on the outside. He'll bang it up against the cushion here. Where to the inside. Here comes Buffon on the outside as well. Off of turn number 4. It'll be 15 laps to go. Casey Bietti, your new race leader. Can he clear the 28 Aware this time off turn number 2? The answer's going to be yes, as he'll be out to your race lead. Casey Vietti, your new race leader. Side-by-side battle for third as the 00 Renfrew and Buffon go side the door off the turn number 4.
They're side by side and almost 3 wide there. That's David Greenslit, the 08 of Carmen, and I believe that's the 35 of Milton Duran also getting back up into the picture here. What a night it's been. Remember Milton Duran, he went for a ride in that first caution flag of the evening. Just came off pit road in time to stay on the lead lap, and now he's back inside the top 10 to have himself a good run. Also looks like Stephen Dickey, the Hudson Speedway, number 98, he's battled back, and now he's going to go sideways, and he's going to take Duran with him. Both drivers going to get hodged in the 75 of Bowalski. There's the 46. He's going to pile in. Junkyard turn number 2 with 13 laps to go.
One driver upside down. That was the 55 of Kyle Willis. He lands the 6th landing, and he'll get turned back around and pointed in the right direction. 12 laps to go, and I bet you Casey Vietti did not want to see this yellow flag come out as he had jumped up to the race lead, and they were playing bumper tag behind him, Roger. But the truck says they got this replay about ready to be displayed, so I'll send it back to you.
Yes, this is what happened here to bring out the caution flag, and there you see the 98 of Bowalski just get in there, Stephen Dickey get in there sideways, and Duran nowhere to go as he was on the outside. Joel Hodgson involved also. 46 down to the inside. Watch it back here once again to see if we can find anything else that just went awry other than just going sideways. They're just out to the left-hand side or right-hand side of our picture. They're already going for a loop, just driving it in and trying to get back to the throttle as soon as these drivers can because it's closing in the end.
Yeah, and the 98 of Dickey just sideways got to the left rear quarter panel of the 35 of Duran. They made contact with the tire there. That kind of sent him sideways, and Hodgson nowhere to go. His driver that was inside the top 10 a little bit earlier on here tonight, and if he was didn't have the bad luck here at New Smyrna, I don't think that driver would have any luck at all here tonight.
So as the caution flag comes out, we're going to take a quick step away, and we'll be back here to finish off the race here tonight for the RacingSchool.net 75.
Dada.
Dada? Say go, Daddy?
Go, Daddy.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the New Smyrna Speedway for the RacingSchool.net 75, hosted here by the Northeast Racers, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Closing in on the end of this one as we will come to get a restart here in just a couple of moments. It'll be Danny Ware starting on the inside, Casey Vietti choosing the outside.
Green flag back out. Vietti on the loud pedal. He got a nice push by Renfrew. Renfrew up to your number 2 spot around the 28 of Danny Ware. And here comes the 20 of David Greenslit. Greenslit up to 4th and not done yet. He'll swing it to the outside around the 28 of Ware. Buffon coming back underneath them as well. Contact almost 3 wide off of turn number 4. Vietti leads at 11 laps to go, but here comes the 00 of Renfrew. He'll dive it to the inside. They'll be door-to-door off turn number 2.
Does he have tires left? We talked about it earlier on here tonight that he has. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway, as I believe that was Ladornas back here, and Willis and a couple of these other drivers really giving her heck and trying to work their way back through the field, but back at the front of the field is still one of them going to go around Christopher Buffon. Going to hit the outside wall.
He's going to hit the outside wall so far, and now the yellow flag will come out. Who was going to be leading that lap? It was too close to call. I believe the 00 of Renfrew is going to be scored as your race leader. Heartbreak for the 45 of Casey Bietti, as he'll be relegated back to your number 2 position as they go back to the last completed lap, and they were door to door, Roger, for that top spot here when that coming to the line.
Yeah, they were racing real hard for the race lead. They didn't want to see the caution flag, but now they will have to line them back up after we work this caution flag here tonight. Let's take a look at what happened to the driver of the number 2. He was running in the 4th position, just goes down into the corner. We've seen it so many times here tonight. He wheel hopped it going in, and then just the car noses dead right into the New Smyrna Coke Speedway, or New Smyrna Speedway Coke sign there down in turn number 1. And that's not good for him because now he'll have to go, it looks like, to about the 18th position.
Yeah, tough break for the driver running inside the top 5 there. Got into the corner a little bit hot, like you said, Roger, and started swatting the bees a little bit, and it's pointed in the wrong direction. But good news is I don't think that contact really is going to hurt the car that much. The bad news is 9 laps to go, and he's restarting in the back of the field.
Got to be 9 laps to go, and I'm not sure if it goes single file here tonight at the New Smyrna Speedway with under 10 laps to go. I don't see that in the race notes, so we'll have to take a look and see when they do line them up, when the iRacing pace car lights do go off here tonight. If we're going to go double file with under 10 to go, a lot of short tracks, I'll choose to go single file, and some short tracks, depending where you go throughout the country, decide to line them back up 2 by 2. We're going to find it out here. Let's see if the iRacing pace car lights go out, if we can get back to the green flag racing action here tonight that all you race fans came to watch, and we thank you all for tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If this is your first time watching the Northeast Racers, they are here every Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network with my partner Al Smith. My name's Roger Muth, and well, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bit of a bell that they have down there underneath this video. That means you will get not only the notifications next time the Northeast Racers go live, but the next time that we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, bringing you everything from super speedway racing action to short track racing to dirt racing, and we dabble with those right-hand turns also that they call road course racing. Turning right, Al, just seems weird. Yeah, Dave in the Cave likes to call those right-handers.
It's fine as a driver, but we have it all here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Why wouldn't you subscribe?
Well, you want to see great racing action, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and get ready for this restart here. Under 10 laps to go. Jamie Renfrew will take the outside position here. That'll give Casey Bietti the inside. Bietti has not restarted tonight, well, since the halfway point off the front row. He'll get another crack at taking the race lead back here. It'll be 8 laps to go when the green flag flies.
And Renfrew ready to go. He jumps to the loud pedal. Here comes David Greenslit in that number in the 20 car.
That's the number 20, Vermont Cabinetry, number 20 of David Greenslit right now, who's working the outside of the speedway. He'll door check the number 45, Casey Bietti, and that's actually going to hurt Greenslit. He's going to go up the track. Here comes the number 28 of Danny Ware. Ware will work the bottom of the speedway. Now we officially get the 8 laps to go and more contact. Danny Ware and Greenslit going to make contact, and will he be able to hang on? We've seen a lot of outside. Oh, one of them into the outside wall, and that's going to be Vernon Woodard as one of them. That's the 03 of Wenzel, who's also out of shape down the back straightaway. 7 laps to go. Renfrew going to take the point. One of them sideways. That's the 32. Contact rewind on the front straightaway. Something's going to have to give going in the corner. More contact down in the turn 1. The 03 trying to gather her back up as now we're going to crash it down the back straightaway.
Yep. Ben Bozowski involved the 03 of Wenzel. Sorry about that. Swallowed a fly up here in the booth.
Told you to take a shower before we came live, Al.
Well, you know, I don't listen to you.
Well, we know that. We know that. But the caution flag flying once again here. Mikowski, McCorby, Wenzel all involved in this one. We'll go back and watch what happened to the SimCube 03 of Wenzel. There you saw the contact with the 32, which put him up the speedway, and then down the back straightaway, it looks like that's the 75 of Bowowski. And McCorby, that's the orange car coming into the picture.
Yeah, it all stemmed from the 32 of Eric Steele getting out of shape there. He tried catching it. They made some more contact. Then Bazowski tried to stick the nose in there to go 3 wide. And I tell you, off of turn number 2, the track looks very wide out there, Roger. To have turning a lot of laps around this racetrack as I have, coming off turn number 2, that is like coming to a funnel. It looks wide, but it really isn't. And the real estate gets eaten up very quickly off of turn number 2.
Let's take a look back because this actually all started 1 lap prior, actually, here for the driver of that 32. There you see the 32 go into the corner, and he gets sideways right there. That's when it all starts to unfold. Little contact with the 88, and then 3 wide down the straightaway. Then when it just comes into turn 1, that's pretty much where it's going to end. Then we're 4 wide at one point, and there it goes. There's the 03 getting turned around down the back straightaway.
It's hard racing. These drivers know that the end is near, and, well, they got to get back into, the best position as they can, and where they believe they should be running here. And, well, as you know as well as I do, Roger, that is just short track racing, unfortunately, where some guys are just going to get the short end of the stick. And some days you are the stick that gets to beat those drivers.
Well, that's Tony Quadros' job, I believe, and I think he actually called Rodney Hontoon to the office to give him a little hand here tonight. Rodney was the race control last season, and our hats were off to him all season long, keeping the drivers in check. And then Rodney wanted to get behind the wheel, so they kind of swapped it out. Tony taking the reins here, calling all the penalties here at the new Smyrna Speedway. And so far this season, when we were at 5 Flags in Concord, and looks like now they're going to put 2 heads together and see what they can come up with.
Yeah, Rodney was in this feature event. Unfortunately, his car's behind the wall, terminal damage on the number 01, so he'll finish unofficially in the 22nd position right now. So cars are side by side. We've got them stacked up in even rows of 2. We're going to go back green flag race, and we'll see if Renfrew and Bietti on the front row can make it to the green flag here. Last time by, you saw a little contact there. Is Renfrew and Bietti step on the gas pedal. We're back underway.
Back underway, 6 laps to go. Renfrew going to get another great start. Bietti going to fall back into second. Greenslit to give it another whirl here on the outside of the speedway with the Vermont Cabinetry number 20. As one of them climbing the wall, that was the 03 back there, I believe, a Wenzel. He'll put it back down on all 4s and get going, but it looks like Renfrew's got a great run. Bietti kind of lost a little ground there with 5 laps to go.
5 laps to go. Bietti got a little bit sideways there. Maybe the tire is starting to give up the ghost. Now he starts to close back in on the number 00. Renfrew, big chunk on the backstretch. Eric Larendu is sideways on the backstretch. So we had 4, 5, 6 cars up against the outside barrier. Yellow flag coming out with 4 laps to go, and Bietti just started to close in on your race leader when the yellow flag came out.
With 4 laps to go, the caution flag number 11 flies here tonight, as we will have to wait for the truck to tell us they have it queued up. Al, it's been a battle of nutrition here at the new Smyrna Speedway, and so far, Renfrew and Bietti have been able to keep it clean here towards the end of this one. Talk about David Greenslit, though, coming back through the field. As the truck says, they have it queued up, I believe.
I believe it all started right there with the 55 of Kyle Willis, possibly.
Yeah, hard racing back here.
You think these drivers are going to go out to dinner with each other after this race?
Not a chance, Al, but you're buying dinner for me tonight.
All right, you're flying the jet home, though.
This is going to be fun. Let's watch it back here once again. Go over top, see everybody gets stacked up, and right there the contact to that left rear quarter panel turns the 55 around, and everybody else behind them nowhere to go. So that's what puts us under our 11th caution flag here of the evening. Jimmy Renfrew is still the race leader. Bietti, Greenslit, and then Danny Ware. Al, Danny Ware led over half this race, and now, unfortunately, he is outside the podium finishing positions. He does have one good thing here, though. He'll restart to the outside.
He will, and this time, the light's staying on the race car, on the racetrack, as they're cleaning up all the debris off of turn number 2. Renfrew, you see him running way up there on the outside of the racetrack, trying to cool off those Hoosier 7-inch tires. They get really hot really quick. We saw Bietti get a little bit loose there a couple times. Got to wonder how much rubber is left on his race tires. Is he, remember, Danny Ware in a 45 of Bietti had checked out early on in this race, over a 4-second lead. How hard were they pushing their race cars? Do they have any tires left? And how are these heat cycles treating them? And we saw Renfrew, he'll choose the outside once again here. Since taking the race lead from Bietti, he has chosen the outside every restart.
So he'll give it another go. Al, the tires at this point are non-existent. It doesn't matter if you started up front, ran up front all night, or had to come from the back. Bietti trying to cool the left sides down in the grass there. It used to be an old trick everybody used to be able to use. I don't know with the version 7 tires if that actually still applies, but he'll give it a whirl. What's the worst that's going to happen? Not going to help him? Well, we'll find out. It'll be 4 laps to go when we take the green. Here we go. Little door bag about the front too, but we are green flag racing with 4 laps to go. Bietti's going to make contact with the race leader. Renfrew was able to hang on to it, but he was sideways. Bietti going to get a great run down the back straightaway now. Will he be able to get there? He will not, as now he goes in and more contact and more sideways.
3 laps to go. This time it's car. Danny Ware sideways. Danny Ware big jump on the front stretch. Oh, Eric Steele, Buffon, and Latorno getting involved here on the front stretch with 3 laps to go. Danny Ware inside the top 5. Got sideways and got into the door of David Greenslet. And now we're underneath our 12th yellow of the evening with just 3 laps to go. It's going to be a green-white checkered finish when the green flag comes back out. Let's see if the truck has this down here for our replay.
Watch it back. You see Danny Ware as him and Greenslit get together, and then Ware goes around at the start-finish line, and everybody trying to get around. There you see the 32 of Steele and the 2 of Buffoon, who had a great run early on and then nowhere to go. He gets wrapped up in this. I don't know, Al. A hard racing towards the end of this one. Everybody's trying to get everything they can get. You asked about the tires. I told you there were none left, and I think that's what just kind of happened there.
Yeah, well, they're running that close together, a little bit side by side there, and you know, these are a full-fendered race car, but the tires do stick out just a little bit. And a little bit of contact there is sent to 28 of Danny Ware. He's down on pit road getting some damage fixed, but unfortunate ending to a great night for the driver who led the majority of this race. And well, now he sits down on pit road getting some damage fixed to that number 28.
So it'll be under 5 laps to go as we work our our 12th caution flag here of the evening at the New Smyrna Speedway for the RacingSchool.net 75 for the Northeast Racers, presented by LFOD Motorsports, as everybody trying to gather and gain what their game plans are going to be here now on the final, which could be the final restart of the night. I'll wait to see what happens. But if you're Renfrew right here, inside or outside?
Yeah, you got to stick to what's working. You got to stay at the outside there. He's Bietti's, keeping them in check, not allowing them to go up and kind of get a run down the racetrack. We saw them make contact. Is that going to be detrimental to both of them if the wrong amount of contact is made off of turn number 4? Will that end both their nights? And then David Greenslet, who sits in your 3rd spot right now, could be in the catbird seat. Look at the driver behind him. We haven't really mentioned him much of the night. Sneaks his way inside the top 5. Vernon Woodard up 8 spots from his 12th starting spot here tonight, and looking to capitalize, maybe get a top 3 podium finish. He sits 4th, and Alan Young in car number 24 rounding out your top 5 right now. So anybody inside the top 10 still has a fighting chance, because you never know what is going to happen here when they get the green flag next time by. It'll be 2 laps to go. So a green-white checker coming at us here in the 75 lapper, presented by the RacingSchool.net. And Roger, just got my voucher, and it says that you paid for it.
Al, every once in a while you got to make a little kid's dream come true, and congratulations, you're going to go to the racing school not virtually, you will be there in April. But the iRacing pace car makes the left-hand turn, and we're getting ready to go back racing here as green flag going to come back out in a very slow start by Renfrew. That's going to allow Bietti to hold serve. They will definitely dance side by side into turn one with just 2 laps to go.
Renfrew right down to the right rear quarter panel. They'll be door to door, 3 wide down the backstretch. Here comes Carmen in 08. But all eyes are in the front of this one. Off of turn number 4. The white silk will fly. The final trip around the speedway.
White flag is up. We will finish the 75 lap main event right here. Jimmy Renfrew has the race lead. Casey Bietti right there on the right rear quarter panel. Little contact down there in 1 and 2. Renfrew gonna have to protect the bottom. Does Casey Bietti give the bump and run? He's right there. Up the speedway's gonna go. The 01 of Renfrew not gonna be able to get there. Casey Bietti. It will be Jimmy Renfrew winning here tonight in the Racing School 75 from the new Smyrna Speedway. Bietti finishes in the 2nd position. David Greenslit rallies back to finish 3rd. Vernon Woodard is 4th. Alan Young is 5th. Joel Hodgson is 6th. Stephen Dickey is 7th. And then it's going to be Nathan Wenzel in 8th. Ricky Nadeau there in 9th. And Kyle Willis rounding out our top 10 cars. Those are the unofficial results scrolling on the left-hand side of your screen there. Figure out where your favorite driver finished, but it is Jimmy Renfrew winning here tonight for the RacingSchool.net 75. Post-race show coming up here right after little celebrations down on the front straightaway. We'll get to talk to a couple of your finishers here tonight to see what they have to say after this event here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Don't go anywhere. Here are what your top 3 finishers have to say after 75 hard-nosed racing laps here.
Dada.
Dada? Say go, Daddy?
Go, Daddy.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the new Smyrna Speedway for the RacingSchool.net 75 hard-nosed racing laps of A-Main action are in the books, and we officially have a few of our podium finishers to talk to after this one. Coming home in P number 1, the driver out of the Lee Star and Hudson Speedway. It's the Street Stock Pro Stock driver of Jimmy Renfrew. Jimmy, you're able to park it in victory lane here tonight, but it was not an easy one. Casey Bietti playing the taps on the back bumper coming to the start-finish line. How did you hang on to this one to win the first race of the season?
Yeah, I hung on there at the end. Me and Casey were racing pretty hard for the win, but early in the race, right around lap 10-15, I actually wrecked David for the lead, and we both went back. I think we were 26th, 27th, around there, and to come back to first and third for the both of us is pretty good, and just be able to hang on. Got lucky getting the lead there on a restart with about 10 to go, and just hung on through a couple late race cautions and got it done.
You were able to pick it up here tonight. The season so far has not gone your way until tonight. After the new year, you finally found some speed in the 00 entry. Will you be able to carry this on? Because there's still a lot of racing left to go this season. We do head to a track that's rather tight just next week when we head to Lanier. Are you going to be able to get it done there?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I like that track a lot, and we didn't have very good luck in the first race. I didn't end up making the show, got into a couple wrecks, but they split this division here into 2, and it really cleaned up the racing a lot. So hoping I can keep the momentum and carry it on to the next one.
Well, tonight you're in victory lane as we roll the red carpet out for you, Jimmy, who makes it all possible behind the scenes.
R&R Public Wholesalers, Renfrew Motorsports. Just practicing a lot on this really helps. And everybody that came out to watch the stream, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Well, there you heard it from the 2019 Hudson Speedway Street Stock Champion. It is Jimmy Renfrew winning here tonight for the RacingSchool.net 75 at the New Smyrna Speedway. Al, he was able to hold a steady wheel at the end, and he picks up his first ever win with the Northeast Racers, so it's good to see some new blood back in victory lane. But I believe, unfortunately, the man that we don't have established communications with comes home second.
Yeah, Casey Bietti with a great drive up 15 spots. Not the hardest charger of the race, but we'll give it to him. Led some laps here tonight. What a great race for the driver from the LCQ, and raced his way into tonight's main event. Will come home with a nice runner-up finish in the P number 2. But we have caught up with our third place finisher here. That is David Greenslit. And David, talking about your race, probably a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, I mean, going from leading there, and me and Jimmy got together a little bit, but I race him in real life a lot, so I know that he didn't mean to do it, and we just put a game plan together to get back through the field, and worked out for top 3 for me. Good points tonight.
Yeah, coming into tonight's action, you've had a good season so far, and coming home with a P3 finish, which probably seemed like it was not in the cards here tonight. It was a little rough of a race here. How did you get through a lot of those wrecks? They clogged up the racetrack and just didn't quite get through the traffic as quick as Jimmy did. Just needed to catch a few more breaks.
Yeah, I mean, I just took my time getting through there, and me and him had talked, and we were just we were in the same channel here in TeamSpeak, and we just talked about it and talked about taking our time getting through there and working together to get back to the front.
Well, you got back up there in those last restarts. Were you a little nervous there that maybe something was going to happen between the top two? They were laying the bumper to each other a little bit there going in the turn number 3. Did you think maybe they would wash up the racetrack and you'd be able to park to 20 in victory lane?
I was hoping, but they're all good racers, and they were beating and banging, but they weren't taking it too far. And I had a real good battle with Vern and Allen back here in the top 5. It was a good night.
The racing was very, very intense here for us up in the booth. Imagine just as much down there for you. But overall, good points tonight. You come home with a 3rd place finish. And who helps you get there to the 3rd place finish?
Vermont Cabinetries, LFOD Motorsports, my whole team to stay behind me. We actually worked in the shop all day today on getting one of our new chassis ready for the 2021 season. So I just have to give it all to them.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations on finishing inside the top 3. We'll see you next week. So we'll have see you there. And Roger, back up to you.
Well, there you heard it from your top 3 finishers here tonight at the New Smyrna Speedway as David Greenslit comes home in P number 3. Jimmy Renfrew, though, was able to win it here tonight. Casey Bietti was second. And, of course, like I just said, Greenslit comes home in P number 3. That was your top 3 finishers here tonight. It was a rough one. Alan Young did battle back, though, to finish inside the top 5. Let's take a quick look here at our results, if we can. Let's see if we can get those pulled up for you. Take a look here quickly at our Racing School unofficial results here tonight. Al, take a look at that. Tell us where you think the biggest mover came from, or the man who at least passed the most cars.
I'm going to have to say it's got to be someone inside the top. And I'm going to say maybe Joel Hodgson or Stephen Dickey. I feel like those 2 drivers had up and down nights. And probably, I know Stephen Dickey came from the last chance qualifier. So I'm going to say maybe that number 98.
Well, it's not a bad pick there. You know, some of these drivers towards the back of the field, though, having themselves some rough nights here at the New Smyrna Speedway. But that's pretty much going to do it for us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. Brought to you the RacingSchool.net 75. Make sure you go over to the RacingSchool.net tonight and pick up your package. Remember, half off packages for the racing school up at the Thompson Speedway through Valentine's Day. So I know Al's going to go ahead and head on over there to theracingschool.net and get me one of those packages. But also, while you're sitting around on the computer or on your smartphone, head on over to LFOD Motorsports. Make sure you check out the used inventory that they have over there and give them a like. Catch all the cars and repairs that they have posted up on the page. But for Al Smith, I'm Roger Muth at the Turn 3 Racing Network. We will catch you next week with some more short track racing action here with the Northeast Racers.
Who's in the race car?
Dada.
Dada? Say go, Daddy?
Go, Daddy.